Flemming.
Hello, good to meet you. Good to meet everybody.
Good to meet you. Flemming, what are you going to talk about today?
You can say decoding the secrets of human energy, decoding human energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what would be what I'm talking about. I've done research for the last 10 years. I was a bank manager in 2010 in Denmark. I died 20 minutes and got a revelation, and been traveling 88 countries for the last decade, unlocking potential, unlocking human energy in large international, you can say, companies, even countries, Paraguay, Guatemala, Costa Rica. We started with the president, top down, raising awareness of conscious quality thinking, raising awareness of values, and transforming the country.
So wonderful. So I will leave the mic. I will leave the mic to you.
Can we?
Excuse me. Yeah, Flemming, are you with us?
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you.
Yeah. So I will leave the mic to you, please.
Thank you.
If you want to share screen, the mic is yours. Go ahead.
I will. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. It's an honor. Thank you for inviting me, Dr. Haller. I will go into my, you can say, presentation. Let's see here. Just a second. I get a yes here. Good. Self-enlightenment legacy, you can say. Am I sharing my screen? Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Good. What I'm going to talk about is decoding the secrets of energy here in the World Leading Influencer Summit. Good. Let's see. Yeah, I will start with what I call reversification. If you're looking at the picture here, you can see me in two places. Me here on the left side, it was 10 years ago. Before that, I was a bank manager. I took, you can say, a slide down to becoming, I got fired, I became homeless, I lost everything. And today I'm international speaker. So moving up from the lowest of the lowest to, you can say, influencing every single individual I'm meeting. I want to share my story a little bit. I was brought up in Denmark, born in Denmark in 1965. You can say, with the DNA of not being good enough, of nobody likes you. That was presented by my uncle and my father. So that was my, you can say, reality. That was my interpretation of the world. I only had, I'm looking into efficiency, effectiveness. I'm only having one puzzle of the big jigsaw puzzle. And that became my reality. Focusing on least resources, largest outcome. In 2010, I got fired from the bank I was working in. I was a leader in the bank. And within 3 months, I got into a depression because that was my identity. So I just ended up living in the street. 16th of January 2010, I woke up. It was minus 19 degrees. A family came by, invited me to their home. They wanted to give me a winter jacket, food, hot bath, and so on. A fire started in that home, and I got the family out. But me, I was caught in this fire in this house. And I had a debt of $1 million. In my perception, I didn't have any friends. My family left me, you can say. And I was standing here and I heard one command saying, come give me the last thing you have and I'll give you peace. Another part I heard soft voice saying, come to me, there is more. This last voice I had a longer conversation with, and what he told me was that God forgives you but you do not forgive yourself. That means you put yourself above God. And I don't think that's the right way. So I asked and said, we had a conversation, and I said, okay, if you can reverse every thought, every feeling, everything in my life, I would follow you. And we've been following together for the last 10 years, changing and transforming lives, unlocking potential, energizing people. What I experienced in 24 hours was what I call reversification. It was a total transformation, going from my limited conditioned beliefs, from my looking on efficiency on one single jigsaw puzzle, to effectiveness, which is long-term sustainable goals. What I later found is that there is a lot of intelligent people, Dr. David Hawkins, who's been focusing on, you can say, shame to enlightenment. Enlightened people in the world, we have Sheikh Zayed, we have Nelson Mandela. We only have 1,000 enlightened people and that level of intelligence. We have, if you're looking at love and joy and peace, we have about 3 to 4% of the population. But we have a lot of people in shame, in guilt, in apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. That's where we as humans normally are. 24/7, we are in fear, we are in stress, we're shutting down immune system, and so on. We have Tony Schwartz working with the human energy in US. He says, manage your energy, not your time. That's so important. I would go to the next slide, which is actually talking about us humans, which is that we are brought up in the age of 0 to 7. We're downloading a lot of, you can say, programs from our parents, from authorities, which then become our comfort zone. Every time we get a new input, data is rejected. It's not matching our comfort zone. It's not in harmony with our comfort zone. So we throw it out immediately. We may think and go into meaning zone and see, okay, fine, this could be great, this could be good, but then we start creating limitations because we think that something outside of need to change before we can change. So, and even when we reach our limitations, we don't move forward. We have a lot of negative thinking, we have a lot of fears, so we're not stepping out of our cloud. And that means that we never ever reach spiritual intelligence, positive impact zone. We never find our person, our passion, our clarity. We are in the cloud most of the time. What I'm saying here is actually that we are in subconscious mindset, our downloaded programs from 0 to 7, which is mostly negative, 70%. And every time we start thinking, we default to these subconscious programs, which will then dictate the outcomes of our future. And those programs are downloaded from our parents. Those are outdated. Those are not matching reality. We need to step into our conscious mindset, which unfortunately for us only works with 2,000 bits per second. Our subconscious mindset works with 400 billion bits per second. It means that if we hear a sound, we react immediately in a split of a second. That's the good part of the subconscious when we are in fear. But if we think that we're in fear all the time, then we're not going into the subconscious mindset. The conscious mindset can accept, reject, neglect, and create. But we're never there because we are always thinking. It's not that we are walking down the street and then we have a thought and then we stop. And when thought is finished, we start walking. No, we can do a lot of things and default to subconscious mindset. If we're looking a little bit into the brain, we have the amygdala, which is standing for survival. And survival really been in this COVID-19 period, really been on the top. We have social needs, we have food and reproduction. If we go into our navigator, our limbic system, our, you can say, emotional system, we have responsibility, but I'm dividing this word, response and ability, the ability to respond. What we do not know, we can't do. Are we based our action based on values, or are they emotional? Do we know our passion, our integrity? If we go to the last part, which is, or the conscious part, we got the willpower, we got rational thinking, we got the inner critical voice, which comes from our limbic system. And we have a lot of judgments. Could we just move forward in curiosity? No. Humans are not doing that. We are conditioned, limited beliefs, we are judging a lot, and so on and so on. We have a lot of ants, automated negative thoughts, which is actually not doing anything for us. They are just popping up as an inner critical voice. Every single day we make 35,000 decisions. Every single day we have 12,000 to 16,000 thoughts, and 95% repeated because we're not accessing conscious mindset, and 80% negative. So how do we move from negativity? The negative is everywhere. The positive we need to create. That means we need to raise conscious awareness of quality thinking. If what I discovered in my, you can say, travel of the last 10 years, because every day is a process of becoming, in my vocabulary, there's no failure. I'm just learning every single day. I'm just growing every single day. I found that forgiveness, which was the first part I mentioned, of self and of others. If we do not have forgiveness of self or of others, we are attached to the cloud, the subconscious programs. We are holding up against a lot of things, and we're not moving forward. In the moment we start forgiving ourselves and releasing our attachment to our emotional clutter, then we can start moving forward into creating boundaries, into creating plans, into saying no. We are getting a lot of, you can say, life intrudes all the time. We're getting a lot of things we may need to put attention to or not. If we don't have any boundaries, we'll be distracted to the drama triangle. That's the break. We're not moving forward. We're not growing. We're not releasing our infinite potential. Our potential is infinite. We can then not move into healthy, sustainable decision making. Humility. Every single individual we meet can learn us something, but we may not be there. We may think that, oh, I know everything. I found that I didn't know anything before my death. In the first 45 years of my life, I was just looking at one jigsaw puzzle, saying, nobody likes you. I saw myself excluded in every single interaction. No matter what you do, it'll never be good enough. That was my only jigsaw puzzle. I never went into effectiveness, long-term sustainable goals, planning, moving forward, and so on. I was not in the position to take healthy, sustainable decisions. The other part, which is so difficult for us, is scarcity. We are always, we may not be generous. In the moment we realize, Sheikh Zayed realized that I'm in the UAE, that generosity is the path forward. In the moment we realize that sharing positivity will create more positivity in our life, we may start moving forward in that area. And in the moment that we actually start becoming generous, we will attain prosperity, collective abundance, and healthy communities. 17 United Nations SDGs. And this is a travel. This is just a process of learning, a process of becoming. When I died in 2010 and came back, you could say, approached doctors and psychiatrists and so on. And they told me my brain activity was 50%. They told me my IQ was 60. But in the last decade of 10 years, I have today an IQ about 140. Just by using my brain, just by growing, just by knowing and unlocking potential, which I've been doing for a lot of people the last 10 years. But if we still are conditioned, limited belief, we're not moving forward. We're staying in our comfort zone. And we're staying stressed. We are shutting down immune system. We need to go in, and that's actually the next slide. What I found is that level 5, the expanded navigator, quantum God universe. We can go back to the research of Isaac Newton, seeing us as machines, seeing us as physical. We're not at all physical. We are energy. And the sole agency of energy, Max Planck found in 1918, Einstein said in 1925, that this is the sole agency of energy, the quantum, the field, the universe, God. I'm not projecting faith at you. This is God for me. I need to approach best practice research. There is so much research out there, and I can grow every single day. I need to find my, you can say, qualified peers, my 20%. According to the Pareto principle, there is 20% I need to focus on my resources, then I'll get an 80% income. Self-cognition, David Hawkins, vibrations, intuition, energy. If we're in that area, we can grow. Another part we need to find is our 3 R's. Recognize what I can do according to my leadership position or my family position or whatever, what only I can do. Focus on what I'm good at, what I'm really good at, where people come back to me and say, you're great, you're wonderful, you did amazing. Then I get rewarded with spiritual, emotional, and mental energy. I'm starting releasing the dopamine, the endorphins, the vasopressins, the oxytocin in my body. I release the good food trucks. I need to step out of the fear. I need to, you can say, disengage with the negative media, unqualified resources, with the people with excuses, with the people of blames, with the angry people. I need to find the people surrounding me where there is accountability, integrity, communication, truth. I need to start listening to the universe, intuition, and so on. In the moment I'm there, I'm not taking away other people. I'm just finding my 20%. I'm delegating to them. I'm empowering them, and they are finding their 20%, and they are finding their 20%. Can you see now everything is growing? In the moment I start being in my positive impact zone and I take away the negativity, then I will grow. I have surrounded me with the people who's lifting me up, who's building me up. I found my response ability, my ability for response, which can grow every single day. I found I'm standing on values. I'm no longer emotional driven. I'm finding my passion. I'm having integrity. In the moment I start working with myself, in the moment I start releasing the good food trucks in my body, my intellect will grow. As I said, my doctor said you have an IQ of 60. Today it's about 140. My mental power is growing. My personal strength. I'm managing my energy. I can do whatever in business. Prosperity. Spirituality, I found my wife. I can make social bonding. I put myself aside. I give myself away. I engage with people and the right people, and I'm growing. And that means that my intentions, when I go out in the morning with a lot of different intentions, I keep my focus on that. And when I come back in the evening, I actually grow. I actually did what I had intended in the morning. If we're not there, life will intrude all the time. And we will show behavior, attitudes, which we are not even aware of. So releasing your energy, knowing that there is the quantum, the field, the God, the universe, connecting a thought, my thought, my thinking with the universe and a good positive memory, then I energize my body. If I want to go somewhere, I start with the pictures of my arrival point and start moving forward. I take my pictures, my ideas, I'm using my 5 senses on the arrival point. I put that together with my thinking, together with the universe, the quantum, the field, and more possibly, I will actually reach that goal instead of I'm standing in my departure point with no energy at all. That's what I'm doing. I'm standing on gratitude. I'm actually going to share one little more story from my life. My oldest daughter, when she was born, there was complications. The doctor told me that there's 90% chance she's going to die. There's only 10% she will survive. First of all, I processed her birth. I demanded that. That was my gut feeling. Next, I told the doctors that something is wrong. 10 doctors came, evaluated my daughter, and said nothing is wrong with her, but I still insisted. And she was put into intensive care. 10 o'clock next morning, they called me and gave me the message, which I accepted, but I didn't believe. I believed that I would go at the beach with her. I believed that I had the good pictures of me playing with my daughter, which calmed my heart, which created energy, even in the room of intensive care. When I visited my daughter, the only place she could sleep was on my chest. And actually, she survived. But I had the belief of her surviving. That was what I had in my head, which means that everything inside of me was calm. And there's something called entrainment, which is rhythms. And my heart, my brain inflicted everybody and even my daughter, and she survived. So when you believe, I think, and that's my perception, that's what I've seen for the last 10 years, you're going to receive. When you combine a positive memory with the universe, the quantum, the field, God, and my thinking, I'm releasing dopamine, endorphins, and everything in my body. And I'm shining. And when I'm shining, I'm attracting. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you very much.